Hello everyone, Positronics here and welcome back to my channel. 2023, although it's only been 1 month, has been more of a productive year for me than others in terms of artwork, which means I have a few things to actually show and discuss. Before I get too into this, I'd like to note that I am a streamer on Twitch with the lovely avatar you see here, and I play a variety of games and occasionally do some artwork on stream. Please come check me out, the link is in the description below. Now, let's get into today's video. I previewed this in my prior video where I did a sketchbook pre-tour, see the card in the corner, and I decided to challenge myself on this to do 2 portraits with only 3 colours, plus black and white. I took inspiration from a video by Hamrib Art about how to mix skin tones in gouache using only 3 colours. I didn't have the same paints, so I chose ones from the Arteza set by testing which of them made a good dark brown when mixed together. I thus settled on mid yellow PY1, crimson red PR21 and PR13, and cerulean blue PG7, 15 and P6. These are from Arteza's gouache collection and can be found in their standard 24 set or their larger 60 set. You don't have to splash out for the huge one to get the same colours I have here. I chose to only use 3 colours because doing so strengthens the ability to know how to see and mix colours, and this was one thing I wanted to do. In the future I'm probably going to let myself use pre-mixed convenience colours, but for now we're staying limited for this one. Following Hamrib's tutorial, I knew I wanted one character, Aneka, to have a warm undertone to her skin, and the other, Orion, a cooler purple undertone. So I popped down my chosen colours and began mixing. Of course, this took the most time of all of the painting, and my first attempt went too far into the purple. I was trying to do an orangey one for Aneka, so I had to mix a second lot for the warm tone light skin. I was still going to use the first one, so it wasn't a loss, it just took a bit more time than I was expecting. I also realised I would need much more white than I anticipated, so I grabbed a tube of Pebeo gouache, which is the same PW6 as the white I chose from Arteza. Using a lot of water here, I put down a base swatch for Aneka's skin. Then while that dried, I lighted up the colour I'd mixed for Orion's skin and painted a similar base wash for him. While I avoid painting in the hair with this, I didn't avoid the eyes, as I'll be painting over them with a thicker layer of white later. I then moved on to the hair, mixing a light orange for Aneka and then a dark brown for Orion. And here we can see just how dark that brown can go when mixed from these 3 colours. I mixed up some different shades from the base skin tone and applied them for the light and shadow areas of Aneka's face, cleaning off the brush and using a bit of water to help it all blend. I went back and forth a few times to reapply layers or dial them back to get the right sense of depth and dimension. Here is the only time I added black to the painting, to make the white a bit greyer and mix with a tiny bit of blue for the base colour of the eyeball. Aneka's irises are blue, so I mixed up different shades and then added a tiny bit of black for the pupils for her. With the face done and drying, I then moved on to Aneka's hair, doing a layer of a darker colour before going back and adding strands of lighter and darker hair. Because of gouache's nature for lighter tones to dry darker and darker tones to dry lighter, I did push the values of the shadows and highlights quite a bit because I knew they'd dry to more subtle tones. It did feel like Aneka's face needed a bit more definition, so I went back in and added more shadows and detail, as well as adding in some eyebrows and finishing the eyes with a bit more colour and a couple of shine spots. I repeated the process for Orion, detailing in the highlights and shadows before blending them, colouring in the lips, adding in the eye, painting the head, and adding the final details. I didn't notice it as much when I was doing Aneka's portrait, but Orion's definitely goes through the ugly stage of painting before the details get added in. To finish off both pieces, I took some of the colour I used for their hair and added in loose strands and stray hairs to break up the silhouette and add a bit of randomness to things. In real life, hair is hardly ever perfect, and adding in imperfections helps a multitude of things to seem more realistic. These portraits turned out a lot more painterly than I had anticipated. I was originally intending them to be more detailed and have finer strokes and details, but I like how these turned out regardless. This page is still unfinished as I need to detail the mannequins for their clothes and outfits, and I'm debating on what theme to use for that. Should it be coloured pencil, water-based markers, paint pens, or something completely different? If you have any opinions on this, let me know in the comments below. Next video will hopefully be me completing this page with the clothing and moving on to the next one. So stay tuned.